Hello and welcome to ShameOver, where you can lose the hangover, not the booze. I'm your host, Erica Mallery, and this is a podcast for those interested in moderation and drinking less, and who want to find peace and balance in their consumption. I am on this journey with you, and I am proof that you can drink less without going cold turkey or all out sober. If this sounds good to you, let's get started. Hello, I'm Erica. Welcome back to ShameOver. I am so glad that you are here. This is going to be a super quick episode for you to refer to any time that you are going to be having a drinking experience. And what I mean by that is if, the holidays are here, if it's a big drinking event, weekend, whole week, anything along those lines, this is going to be paramount for you to come back to. You can use this literally anytime. This is not holiday specific, although it's very relevant. So we're going to focus on the number one thing you can do to be successful in moderation and drinking less and drinking, what you actually intend to do. And that is making a plan and seeing it through. So as we discuss this, just think about how ridiculous it would be to just wake up one day and say, I'm going to go to Mexico or wherever you want to go. Maldives. That's glorious. Let's do that one. And then you just literally go to the airport and get on a plane and leave. No, one, with, current security, can't even do that. Couldn't even probably likely afford the prices for that. But what are you going to do? You're going to plan. You're going to figure out, when am I going? How am I going to get there? Where am I staying? What am I doing when I'm there? Do I need a budget for this? How much do I budget? What are all the cool things that I can experience so I can decide where I want to do these things, what I'm going to do, all those things, right? Our drinking is really not much different. When we come up with a plan and actually prepare, that means not just say, I'm going to have 2 drinks tonight. Great. Anytime anyone does that, 90% of the time, they're not going to be successful unless they are very much if that is their norm and that is just something that's easy for them to do, sure. But if you're trying to practice drinking less, if you're trying to work this moderation muscle, which for many of us has not been worked maybe ever in our life, or at least not well, this is going to be incredibly helpful, right? We're going to not only make a plan, but prepare so that we can actually see that plan through. I have a worksheet that I am happy to share with you guys. So just check the show notes, reach out to me directly if you want it, whatever. But it is how, especially early on, I was successfully able to navigate drinking less time and time and time again, making it super repeatable and easy for me to replicate. So number one, you are going to describe the situation that you are planning for. So maybe it's a holiday party. Maybe it's your family Christmas, or it's a Hanukkah celebration. Happy Hanukkah. I know that officially started for those who celebrate. Whatever it is, list out the thoughts that you have and the feelings that kind of come along with this. And as you're going through this, nobody needs to see this. You can light it on fire if you want. You can just take notes in your phone and delete it. I don't care. Nobody needs to see this. So lose the judgment that you have for yourself, because a lot of times that's what's coming up. That's the sticky point that is keeping us in the resistance phase. So write down your thoughts and your feelings that come up with this event. Next, you're going to decide the action that you want to take. And this is, regardless of what action you take, there's going to be some kind of result or reward. So for a lot of us, the situation, we'll just say we have a holiday party. We're excited, we're nervous, maybe there's someone there we feel like we need to impress if it's a work thing, or, if that's just kind of your personality. Maybe there's someone there you're dreading seeing, all these things. What are the feelings coming up? What are the thoughts coming up? Once you get a better idea on this also will kind of show you triggers that come up for you. For me, I don't drink for negative emotions, because that's when it's harder for me to stop at my dedicated number when I'm drinking out of negative emotions, because I'm drinking to numb. I am not drinking to moderate, right? So I know that about myself. So that's why I do what I do. Figure this out for yourself. So depending on the situation and your thoughts and feelings going into it, there's going to be a result or reward at the end. So for a lot of us, drinking means we feel better, or we don't feel whatever we're going for, and that's the reward that we get. But a lot of times that reward turns into a negative result or consequence very quickly, with the hangover, with the blacking out, with the saying something we shouldn't have, with the picking a fight with our partner, whatever that looks like. So when we actually can play it forward in our head, it helps us understand how this night could go with a plan and also without a plan. So next we get into the reality of the situation. This is how you will actually make that plan go. This is how you'll make it work. So when you're in a situation, you're going to have an urge and a desire, likely. So write down, when I feel the urge or desire, I will what? For me, if I feel the urge or desire, I am absolutely number one going to start with the be-free option. By be-free, I mean booze-free, non-alcoholic, alcohol-free, whatever terminology you prefer. I love be-free. It's empowering. It feels good. I like it. So I always start with a booze-free beverage because so often that scratches the itch, and I just need to kind of be around people with something in my hand. Having something in my hand, it doesn't matter what's in my hand. It's just kind of having that comfort in your hand. So when I feel the urge or desire to drink, I will, or continue drinking, however this looks, I will blank. You fill this in for yourself. Next, what are you afraid of? And a lot of times, I'm not afraid of anything. If you don't think you're going to be fun, okay, you are afraid of judgment from others, that they think you won't be fun. You're afraid of judgment from yourself, that you won't be impressing other people, or you won't be having fun yourself. So there's a fear. Maybe you're afraid FOMO, not having fun just always comes to mind with drinking, because that's typically what we describe. Why we're drinking is because it's fun. We're fun. We're having fun. Everyone's fun. Right? So a lot of times it comes down to not having fun, which is not only not having a good time, but not being included, not connecting with others, not being a part of the community, of the environment that we are in. And that is kind of a soul need that we need. We need to feel like we belong. We need to feel included. So if that's coming up for you, amazing, very natural, very normal. It's also something we can usually work with. So next, and if you only take away one thing, this is the one thing. What is the problem that drinking solves for you in this situation? So we drink. I don't think drinking is a problem. I think that drinking is our solution for pretty much everything. We're happy, drink. We're sad, drink. We're celebrating, let's drink. We're just bored, let's drink. There's nothing to do, drink. These are all problems that alcohol has become the solution for. So in whatever situation you're thinking of specifically, what is the problem that alcohol is solving? A lot of times it's going to be, it makes sure that we're having fun. It helps me with my confidence. It helps me calm down in front of the group. For anyone highly sensitive, deeply feeling out there like me, a lot of times it can be not only kind of that liquid confidence, but also really turn down the noise so that you can actually feel like you're being more like everyone else because everything isn't so loud and vibrant. It's numbing that down a little bit. Whatever it is. Again, there's no shame. There's no judgment here. Just be honest with yourself. So after you figure out what the problem that drinking is solving is, and again, that's the one thing, if you ask yourself in the moment, it is going to take your drinking from mindless to mindful. What am I trying to solve with this drink right now? Next, what is the reality of this situation? A lot of times we realize I can actually have fun if I don't drink. Or it might not be as great of a time, but I can go later. I can leave earlier. Awesome. I'm still a part of it. I have to be there, but I don't have to, participate, whatever. So what is the reality of the situation? A lot of times we're going to realize, especially after practicing this, that the reality of the situation is I didn't need alcohol in that situation to be in it, to have fun, to be enjoyable, to enjoy who I was with. And I will say, if we need alcohol to be around the people that we're around, they're probably not people that we need to be around that often. Some things I know there's obligations, blah, 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 whatever. But if that is how you have to be around these people, I would definitely start looking at your circle and just start getting curious about that, because it's probably not going to be the healthy environment you want to be in long term if that's how you feel you have to show up to be a part, to enjoy, to be accepted, any of that. So soapbox, I'm off. All right, next, come up with a commitment. And why I say a commitment is if you just say I want to, you are going to find every excuse not to do it, especially once you get closer and closer to that drinking hour. So make a commitment. Maybe your commitment is, I'm going to take tonight off and be the DD. Maybe your commitment is, I'm going to stop at 3 and this is how I'm going to do it. So as you come up with your commitment, get really specific and say exactly what that would look like. So if I'm going to stop at 3, a lot of times I say 3 or less, just how our brain works. If we say 3, it wants to hit that 3 number. And if 3 is really hard for us to stop, then that's where it from there. So if you're saying up to 3 or 3 or less, that gives you some wiggle room. So if after 1 you're like, I actually don't really feel like it, you don't feel the need to keep going because it was a designated drinking day, for example. So if 3 is your number, for example, I'm going to be at this event for 3 hours. Great. That gives me 1 an hour. So I'll start with the booze-free option, have a drink, have a water in between or sparkling or something booze-free that's hydrating, have another drink, do the same thing, have the third drink if I choose, or switch immediately to something hot. One of my favorite tips, switch to something hot. It will automatically make you mindful, slow down, present, and in the moment, because we cannot physically drink something hot super fast. So great tip for you there. So again, make the commitment and write down specifically what your day is going to look like. And then understand your why. Why does this matter? Why is it important? Maybe it's you just don't want to feel terrible the next day. Maybe it's something much bigger. Your ultimate why needs to be something a lot bigger that really gets you in the feels. When you get kind of emotional as you're coming up with your why, that's when you know you're getting close. If it's just, oh, for my health, great. We know that that is what we want it to be, but our health is not reason enough. Unless one more sip of alcohol will kill us, that's not enough, right? So come up with something that can help not only short term, but long term that resonates, that's going to help you in the moment when you're like, I am really wanting to be that 2.0 version. This is what that 2.0 version of me looks like, thinks like, acts like, does. That is who I'm going to be. That is who I am working towards now. That person is me. So take some notes, reflect on this, but doing this simple exercise, you can literally do it in a few minutes. You can even have it on your phone and do it, a thought process. It is going to slow down your drinking and make it so much more mindful that when we're mindful, we don't over drink. We can't. So stick to the 1 drink an hour. Our body can literally only process 1 alcoholic drink per hour. So if you try to stay within that window, hydrating before, after, between, you are going to do great. Just remember to check in with yourself, connect with your breath with whenever in doubt, and take a break if you need. That's always approved and a great option. So with that, I will be back with hopefully more short tips for your holiday season, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Okay, real quick before you go, if you are thinking about doing dry January or something along those lines, I need you to hear this. Most people don't fail because they lack willpower. They fail because they do it the hard way. White knuckling, zero support, zero plan. But no, not here, not this year. That's why I created Dry-ish January, so you can drink less without the all or nothing pressure and actually feel good doing it. Head to shameover.me for the link and come do this differently with me this year. ShameOver is the mindful drinking program designed for women who desire to drink less without losing the booze completely. If you want to transform your relationship with alcohol and live a healthier, confident, and balanced life, go to shameover.me and get started today. You deserve it, you're worth it, your future self thanks you. Cheers!